Making the world a better place is an intricate puzzle, and piece by piece, the women and men of Rotary have worked hard to fight hunger, promote literacy, and move the world toward peace. But there is still much to be done, still some missing pieces, and one of those missing pieces is you. Learn how you can help Rotary put together a better world at Rotary.org. Rotary, humanity in motion.
Hi, welcome to This Is Rotary. I'm Keith Doolin. This week we get up close and personal with a handful of local Rotarians. We find out who they are and what Rotary's meant to them.
I'm Reg Garders. I'm married to Bid, and I have 3 kids, and we have 7 grandchildren. Most of my career was with the New Zealand Institute of Management. Prior to that, I was with the stock and station industry. That culminated in becoming CEO of the New Zealand Institute of Management in 1981, and I stayed there right through to retirement in 2008 because it was a fantastic job with fantastic people and a lot of fun and a lot of growth and progress, so I really loved that job. I enjoy trying to keep a balance in life, so fitness is part of it. And I'm not a good runner or anything, but I've run a few marathons, and my daughter Sal and I, we've run the coast to coast, done the coast to coast as a team. We did it in 2006 and did it again in 2009 as a team, and she did it by herself in 7 and 8. Now I'm doing quite a lot of consulting stuff. I'm on a few boards. I do quite a lot of mentoring, speaking at various places, also pursuing other things that I'm kind of interested in, you know, fringe hobbies and that sort of thing. They're a bit varied. I enjoy and always have enjoyed doing impersonations of people's voices, singers, famous characters, that sort of thing.
You ask, what is our policy? I would say it is to wage war by sea, land and air, with all the strength and with all the might that God can give us. To wage war against a monstrous tyranny, never surpassed in the dark and lamentable catalogue of human crime. That is our policy.
I found it quite easy to impersonate well-known characters at the time. Like, for example, the first one I recall was probably Sir Keith Holyoake. He was a man who was a very successful Prime Minister. I think he's the longest serving Prime Minister in New Zealand. But he had this, well, ladies and gentlemen, very pompous sort of voice, you know, and so I didn't find it hard to get into his character, and people found that really funny. Then came Rob Muldoon, who again was a wonderful person to impersonate because he had this sort of thing in his cheek here, and he'd squint up, and it wasn't hard to get into his voice because he had this certain sort of voice.
Well, it's very interesting just to see some of these political people, the way they're carrying on these days. Comparing them with my style, which I think people generally found far more enjoyable. That's only my opinion, of course. But no, they're involved in what I loosely call puberty economics. That is to say, these folk up in the beehive, you know what they're doing is wrong, but you hope they'll grow out of it.
I got invited to do Elvis at the Wild Foods Festival on the West Coast. This was, you know, really big time because there were 23,000 people at this Wild Foods Festival. And I think one of the greatest feelings I've ever had was on the stage doing this Elvis act. The crowd were just, you felt as though you could see the whole 23,000 of them. They were just chocked in there. I realised just how Elvis must have felt, you know, each time he went on stage. And it literally took me a couple of days to get off the high from that experience.
I love best, my heart beats so it scares me to death. My name's Kate Russell and I am the Chief Executive of Cystic Fibrosis New Zealand, which is a charity that works for people with CF and their families in New Zealand. I've been in the not-for-profit sector for 17 years and I've worked for a whole heap of organisations, the Order of St John's, CCS. I've been a private consultant, but now really in this job where I just love what I'm doing and have got no intention of moving on from here. I'm also very active in the Fundraising Institute. I'm the chair of the Ethics Committee for the Fundraising Institute and I'm the vice chair of the New Zealand Carers Alliance, which is an alliance of 42 organisations that look after people who care for people who are chronically ill or disabled or elderly or mentally ill. Those are the things that I do in my work life. I'm also a mother of 3 children. I am also a very active member of the Rotary Club of Bishopdale Burnside.
I'm Geordie Hooft. I'm 42 years old. I'm a member of the Christchurch Rotary Club. I've been a Rotarian now, this will be my 4th year, and the initial drive was more an invitation that I had from someone to come along and attend a meeting and just find out a little bit more about it. I knew that they do a lot of good work around in the community, and it was really just a chance to be able to be part of that and also to meet some interesting people. One of the strengths of the club is that you get to be part of things that you wouldn't be able to do on your own, and it takes that membership number to be able to do some of those things. And I think there have been a couple of projects that have been involved in, and I think of the school dictionary project in particular, where each Rotary Club will select a school within their area and provide a free dictionary to each Year 4 student. I've been lucky enough to be part of handing that out, and just watching the kids' faces as you hand those out was really enjoyable. One of the things that someone said at Rotary once in terms of the order of priority of things for our lives was number 1 was family. That's my number 1 thing at the moment. Number 2 is work, and I'm very busy here. I'm a partner at Grant Thornton. And 3rd is Rotary. Finally, at the end of it, there's maybe a bit of time left over for me. There are lots of people who are worse off being able to do something to make a difference. It might not be much of itself, but you know, every little thing helps, and where we can make a difference, we'll try and make a difference.